What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another Cryptid Saturdays, and in today's Cryptid Saturdays, we are going over the Cryptids of Delaware. Um, they've got some cool ones. It's I never heard of any of them. I don't believe. But hey, let me know if you guys did in the comments down below. Also, like I always like to say, if sometimes there's no pictures, but there are descriptions. So if you guys want to take the description and draw it out for me, and then send it to me on YouTube or sorry, on my Instagram, that would be awesome. And I'll throw it up on my Instagram and I'll tag you guys in it. But before we get into all of this, guys, please remember to go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you never miss another video from me, and drop all those comments down below with what you guys think of the cryptids in this video, in this article. And if you guys have ever heard or seen any of the cryptids in this article, I would be love to know. And without further ado, guys, let's get into this, the Cryptids of Delaware. So like I always like to say, guys, I do not own the rights to this article. I did not write it. I'm simply using it to pass along information. If you guys would like, please go over to mysteriousuniverse.org and show them some love. Or if not, let's just stick around and go through all this together. Exploring American Monsters, Delaware. I love how they have the option for a light and dark theme. Delaware, the first state to ratify the United States Constitution, sits on the Delmarva Peninsula and is bordered by New Jersey, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. The second smallest state in the Union, Delaware is one of the least populous, but it does have a few monsters. The Selbyville Swamp Monster. Ah, sorry. Oh god, it looks like Swamp Thing from DC. Two raccoon hunters, trudging through the great cypress swamps of Selbyville, Delaware, one night in the 1920s, found something unexpected. The hunters knew something was wrong when their dogs froze and tucked tail, but they didn't expect what they next encountered. They heard something screaming, and this horrible noise started coming towards them, author and Nunes told the newspaper Coastal Point. Rather than fire on whatever it was, they backed away from something large and heavy, continued to follow them, snapping through the branches as it came. The hunters encountered the Selbyville Swamp Monster, a large, hairy, hulking beast. An editor in the Delmarva News, Ralph Gupperus, claimed he created the Selbyville Swamp Monster as a hoax in the 1960s and dressed friend Fred Stevens in a hairy costume. Steven used to terrify motorists on Route 54 and Gupperus printed stories of swamp monster hunts in the Delmarva News. Stevens revealed his part in the hoax in 1987. He'd stopped dressing as the monster after a few months as hunts for the creature became common and he feared for his life. However, Stevens claims that didn't account for encounters since the 1920s or those that continued long after he hung up his costume. So props to him for realizing he was going to get shot if he continued to do this. Uh, Probably either a bear in the woods, dogs in the woods, or something like that, or people just dressing up and scaring the crap out of other people. Because once there's a legend, people will abuse it. Well, yeah, I mean, or I don't know, or there's like some weird plant monster thing out there chasing people. I mean, there could. I hope so, but I don't think so. I think this one's more of a just people dressing up and scaring people. But man, if that was real, though. I mean, look at that thing. All right, so I'm gonna apologize. I'm not getting this pronunciation right. Mahui, Mahui. This giant stalks the icy fields of winter in search of prey. Akin to the better-known Wendigo, the Mahui is a large, hairy beast that feasts on human flesh. According to a Delaware Indian legend, the Mahui are human beings who have become cannibals and turned into a monster. One legend has a tribe taking in a Mahui, feeding its fruits, vegetables, and cooked animal meat until the monster transformed back into a man. According to the Native American website nativelanguages.org. Okay, so that's not a Mahui. I think the Mahui is probably just cannibals. To be honest with you, it's probably just people that when you start eating human flesh, like things have to change about you. You know what I mean? And they probably quit living with people. They probably, if they were only eating human flesh, then they were definitely not eating enough of it. So I mean, like, yeah, but I think this is just a Native American legend about cannibal people. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, though. I mean, I don't know, because like the Wendigo myth is really interesting, and if this is just essentially the Delaware version of a Wendigo, like that's actually kind of scary. Uh, but yeah, and that's a bad mermaid because that's not real, guys. I'm just letting you know right now. This is a fake mermaid. Like the head is a monkey, the fish, it's like the head and the body of a monkey, and then they like shoved it into a fish, and yeah, it's just this. These have all been proven fake with like fake teeth and things. It's just crazy. Dale merman lying in a glass case in the Zwanadale Museum in Lewis, Delaware, is a merman. The foot-long mummified creature arrived in Lewis in the late 1800s. A present to the Lewis family from a sea captain. The merman has a fishtail, human-like arms, and a screaming humanoid head topped with white hair. A thing of local legend, the Seminole Merman is likely a hoax. The Division of Historical and Cultural Affairs in Delaware said the merman was created in mid-19th century China using a shrunken monkey head, fish, hair, ivory, glass, oak, stain, varnish, and dye, according to an article in the Washington News Journal. Or is it? A sea captain wouldn't lie, would he? So yeah, I'm just letting you guys know right now that that monkey is fake, and anything that looks like that is fake. Like, don't go believing people and don't go wasting your money in buying them because that is not real. And here we are. Delaware's Bigfoot. You can't have a Cryptid Saturday without a Bigfoot, apparently. Bigfoot. I began exploring American Monster series with the caveat that I would not focus on well-known creatures such as the Jersey Devil, Mothman, and Bigfoot. However, I've included Bigfoot in this installment because, well, it's Delaware. For a long time, Delaware, along with Hawaii, are the only two states in the Union without reported Bigfoot sightings. Delaware can't say that anymore. 3 encounters, all in Sussex County in the southeastern part of the state, have been reported to the Bigfoot Field Research Organization in the past 11 years. A college student at Delaware Technical Community College in Georgetown was driving home on a back road from a late-night class in January 2004 when he saw something he didn't believe existed. As he pulled up to a stop sign, the student noticed a figure standing next to a utility pole, staring out onto a patch of forest. Thinking it was a man, he turned off his high beams and kept driving. As he approached the figure, he noticed its immense size, about 8 feet tall, and the thing was covered in thick black hair. When the figure turned its crested head, looked at the car, it casually turned back towards the woods as if the car didn't matter. Terrified, the driver sped away as quickly as possible. Yeah, dude, so that's probably a bear. A bear or just maybe a really big person. Because, I mean, nothing that's not used to cars isn't gonna just stand there and just walk away. Like, I'm sorry. Also, like, you saw that, you're like, what about seeing it from inside of your car is gonna freak you out enough? Like, dude, turn around and go find the thing. I mean, I would. Nothing would stop me probably from flipping my car around. That being said, I'm a crazy person. Don't listen to me. Like, let me do it and die. But at least there's a good story that comes out of it. Or a better article than, like, a better acknowledgement in an article than what this poor guy got. Also, I'm just going to say, why do they always give Bigfoot abs? Like, look at this thing. That thing is jacked. Even gorillas don't look jacked like that. I mean, like, come on. A woman returning from a vacation with her family in August 2010 saw the head and shoulders of a Bigfoot standing over the corn in a field. No one else saw the creature. So my running assumption here is she probably saw a scarecrow. And if she didn't, like, I don't know, maybe it was a Bigfoot in a cornfield. I mean, it makes sense as a food supply, but, like, my money's on she saw a scarecrow that wasn't there and freaked out. And then it probably fell down. Like, it's probably a set of coincidences more than circumstances. A couple that had just returned home from the grocery store in November 2012 heard a tremendous scream followed by a series of knocks of wood on wood from a patch of trees behind their house. The sun had set about an hour before. The couple saw nothing but were convinced a Bigfoot was near their house. So tree knocking is the thing that Bigfoots do, and a lot of people think they do it to, like, mark their territory or, like, display territory or, like, communicate to one another. So if it was a Bigfoot, that's what it was doing. That being said, I think they might have just been overreacting to just noises in the woods. It could have been from something else. Noise travels a long distance. Could have just been people messing with them, which is entirely possible too. But yeah, I mean, or they had a Bigfoot stalking them around their house. Like of the three, that's the one that I would say is most likely a Bigfoot. Like it would have to be that one. Okay, guys. Well, that was a list of some cryptids from Delaware, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please drop comments down below with what you guys thought of the cryptids that I just went over in this article. Let me know if any of you have ever seen any of the cryptids that I went over in this article. I'd really love to appreciate and know and hear your guys' stories. All that being said, though, guys, once again, please go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Drop all those comments down below, as well as follow me on all of my social media, which will be right after this. And I will see you guys next Saturday for Cryptid Saturdays.